Got a comeback record on this fancy playlist of March 18th, 1989. It's Roy, baby. Roy Orbison. You got it. That voice still in place. I remember when he was when he was singing with the Traveling Wilburys. There was Bob Dylan was in that group. George Harrison, Jeff Lynne. I believe Tom Petty was singing in that. And Roy Orbison just sounded as great as ever. Guy had a voice of an angel, still sounding good. And the thing about You Got It was that was his first top 10 since Pretty Woman in 1964, and It's Over. That was also a hit for Roy Orbison, top 10 in 1964. Powerful record, It's Over. And that was basically his last top tens was in 1964, and he did Right Away in 1965. But that's a pretty obscure record. A lot of people don't remember that one. But anyway, You Got It. It was co-written with it's from the album Mystery Girl. Roy Orbison's big comeback. Co-written, Roy Orbison wrote it, Jeff Lynne wrote it, and Tom Petty wrote this song. Jeff Lynne produced it. Jeff Lynne, man, I got to tell you, I kind of appreciate Jeff Lynne of ELO. Jeff Lynne, he understands the sock hop years of the 50s and early 60s. He knows it. And he understands the golden years of the 60s. Beatles fan. You remember ELO, their first hit record was in the first hit record, Roll Over Beethoven in 1973. Fantastic rendition. Was not a hit here in the United States, but went to number 2, I think, in England. But anyway, let's go back to Roy. We got to talk about Roy. It's all about Roy, baby. Roy Orbison. You Got It from Mystery Girl. I want to talk about a couple other songs off that album. Right after You Got It. By the way, You Got It went to number 9 in the States, went to number 3 in England. Roy was big in England. Roy kicked it in England, toured in England in the early 60s and the 60s. And She's a Mystery to Me. That was another song off the album. As a matter of fact, they came out after You Got It. Of course, he passed away during this time in 1989. I forgot the exact date. I should have researched it, but I got too excited by these other songs and these songwriters. But anyway, She's a Mystery to Me. That song was written by Bono and The Edge of U2. Written for Roy. Beautiful song by Roy Orbison. There was a video to that, too. Remember, back in the spring, might have been the summer of 1989 by Roy Orbison. I want to mention also another song that was big in 1989 that you might remember. I Drove All Night. Cyndi Lauper did it in 1989. It was written for Roy Orbison originally. Guess who wrote that song, I Drove All Night? It was Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly. Oh my God. A book needs to be written about these two guys. Steinberg and Kelly, they wrote Like a Virgin by Madonna. They wrote True Colors by Cyndi Lauper. They wrote So Emotional by Whitney Houston, that power thrusting dance record back in the fall of '87. They wrote it. Remember, I touched myself. It's so funny. I Touched Myself by the Finals. Steinberg and Kelly, they co-wrote it. Touch Myself, that was real big back in the spring of '91. Well, Steinberg and Kelly, they wrote this song for Orbison, but Cyndi Lauper covered it. Roy Orbison recorded a version of it in 1987. I Drove All Night, but his version was not released here in the States. But it was released in England in 1992, and it went top 10 in Britain. In 1992, went to number 7 in England. How about that? Well, this is Roy with You Got It at number 7 on my fancy playlist, March 18th, 1989.